advantage of knowing that knowledge. Yeah. So if you see 35, it's saying, verse number 35, having obtained real knowledge from a self-realized soul, you will never fall again into such illusion. For by this knowledge you will see that all living beings are but part of the Supreme, or in other words, that they are mind. Maybe we'll repeat everybody so that we'll go in that particular mood. Right? Having obtained real knowledge from a self-realized soul, you will never fall again into such illusion. For by this knowledge, you will see that all living beings are but part of the Supreme, or in other words, that they are mine. So here if you see, if we get the real knowledge from the self-realized soul, which is Guru, which we discussed, what happens? First thing is, you will never fall again into such illusion. So we discussed in detail about illusion, what exactly illusion is. I think everybody is aware of that. And then what happens, that we don't fall again into such illusion. So how that happens? Yes. 35, verse 35. Yeah, we are revising 35, 36 and 37. Very good.
Does it mean that if somebody gets the shelter of spiritual master, he will not fall again?
He will not fall in the illusion. Yes.
Fall into illusion again?
Correct.
Is that true?
Yes. That also we will cover in the next verses. Not 35, 36, 37, but 38 and 39 will cover that. But why you have doubt?
Because still I have doubt, because if this is true, then all the devotees who are initiated, they have already taken the shelter of spiritual master. They should not be covered Maya anymore.
Okay, but what is initiation? What is the meaning of initiation?
Taking the shelter of.
Initiation is starting. Right? It's a beginning. So they are beginning to take shelter. So if they follow the process completely, then scripture says that yes, it will. Krishna himself is telling you, if you take the spiritual knowledge, then you will never fall again into such illusion.
But it is again if you follow the whole all rules.
Yeah, if you basically you take the real knowledge, there is no talk about rule here.
Still the rules, I mean to say Krishna rules.
Right. But no, that is a real knowledge. It's not a rule. That is a real knowledge. That if we obtain that knowledge, there are 38 and 39 is talking about who obtains the knowledge, who doesn't obtain that knowledge. That also it talks. So maybe that time it will be much clearer.
Just obtaining knowledge is not enough till we apply it.
No, here we are not just going by word knowledge. If you see a complete chapter, almost means most probably next week we will finish the chapter. The transcendental knowledge is not just knowing, right? It is understanding and applying. That is knowing the knowledge. See, if you see in material world, knowing knowledge is if you know.
If we take the shelter of spiritual master, then according to this verse, then you will never fall again into the illusion.
Correct.
Like illusion is like Maya.
It is Maya, yes.
It is Maya. But here it is not written that we'll after getting that knowledge or
it is
the knowledge.
Yeah, it is saying, right? For by this knowledge you will see that all living beings are part of the Supreme. In other words, they are mine. So yes, what you are trying to say is this. It is not saying that it is knowledge related, but it is
35 saying that having obtained real knowledge.
No, 35 only we are talking. That is what I am saying. The first part of it is having obtained the knowledge. So it is saying that only thing is we will not believe, right? So overall if we cover this, we will believe, as well as in 38 and 39, as I am repeating, that it will tell who believes, who doesn't believe, what happens. Right?
So just taking shelter is not enough till the soul herself follow all the knowledge based.
Correct. See, taking shelter, right, is the first step. That starts, if you remember last week or week before I mentioned, last week I mentioned, what happens once you take shelter. This knowledge is not coming from, from our senses directly. It is revealed in our heart. So once you take shelter, that process of revealing in the heart starts.
But it is written that you will never fall again into the.
Yes. I didn't understand the problem.
Once you take the shelter of spiritual master, you will never fall
No,
again into the.
I'm telling about the knowledge. Once you get the knowledge, taking shelter is the first step. Taking shelter is the first step. First step. Yeah. So you are taking the admission.
We are taking admission.
Yes. Then it starts. The process starts. Right? We'll go further and then see whether it satisfies you. Okay. Now then we talked about being part of the Supreme. Right? So anybody remember what we have talked about? Specific point I have mentioned, that part and parcel. Prabhupada always says part and parcel. Why he says part and parcel? Why not just part? Anybody remembers?
Because we don't have their identity, but we have their identity.
You're correct. The parts, if we say body parts, right? The finger doesn't have its own identity. But our soul, everybody's soul has an identity. So that's the reason Prabhupada says part and parcel. So how we will know this? So we dive in how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has explained. Anybody can revise that? Anybody can tell how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained this whole process? Any Vedic scripture to understand what?
Three different parts, Sambandha Gyan,
Three different steps. Yes.
Sambandha Gyan, Abhidheya and Prayojana.
Yes. So Sambandha, Abhideya and Prayojana. Correct?
Sambandha means what is the relationship with Krishna.
Right.
We have to understand that relationship. Abhideya means like what we have to do for that. And Prayojana again is the activity how to serve Krishna.
Yeah, I think little bit I want to change. So Abhideya is actually serving and Prayojana is the final goal or fruit. So I will explain that because few of you were not there. So these are the three steps to get any scriptural knowledge, right? So here what we are trying to understand, that we are part and parcel of Krishna Supreme Lord. So Mahaprabhu has explained that, how he has explained that there are three steps to learn this knowledge. Right? First step is Sambandha. So what is the meaning of Sambandha? Sambandha means relation. So to know the relation, you need at least two people, right? So who are those? The soul and super soul. So first we have to identify ourselves, who we are, right? That is soul, identification of soul. Then we have to identify about super soul, who is a controller. Who is he? What are his characteristics? How we can get to know him? And then we have a relationship. So that is Sambandha. So this particular verse is telling about Sambandha. Once we know the Sambandha, then the meaning of Sambandha will not be valid if we don't act in that Sambandha. I gave example of father and son. If father doesn't act with his son as a father, then there is no meaning of that Sambandha. Right? So as a part and parcel of Krishna, we should act in that relation. So that acting, that serving, that devotional service is called Abhideya. Right? So once you have that Abhideya, once you serve, right? For serving, we act so many things, we do so many things, but always there is some target to do that, right? To get, or final fruit is there. That is called Prayojana. Yeah? The Sambandha, Abhideya and Prayojana. Then we went on 36. I'm just seeing if anything else I covered in my notes. Yeah, we talked about how soul forgets about their identity. See, the real identity is what? The real relation with Krishna is what? Core identity. But what is the real relation between us and Krishna? Service. So that thread, that relation is service. And what is happening? We are forgetting about that. And that is called Maya. Right? So I gave example of Mayavadi, who thinks that there is no more Krishna because Krishna divided in everything. So no more Krishna is there. Right? Then spiritual arithmetic we talked. What Prabhupada has mentioned. 1 plus 1 is equal to 1. 1 minus 1 also is equal to 1. Why? So we talked about Ishopanishad, the Om Purnam Idam Purnamadam. Yeah. So that we talked. I think. Yeah, and then how Mahaprabhu has explained. Actually, I gave example of Mayavadis say, I am God. And then, devotees just add apostrophe s, I am God's. And then there was a story also I mentioned. But then the important point was Mahaprabhu, how he explained. So Mahaprabhu actually explained is Gopi Bhartu Padakamalayo Das Dasanu Das. So we are servant of gopis who likes Krishna very much. So that is our identity, true identity Mahaprabhu has mentioned. Okay. So any questions till this point? This is 36. Sorry, 35. That is, and then 36, verse number 36. Even if you are considered to be the most sinful of all sinners, when you are situated in the boat of transcendental knowledge, you will be able to cross over the ocean of miseries. So here actually we talked about a little bit about what exactly these sinful activities are, and then we went very detailed. Maybe that is very important point, so I wanted to cover that as well. And then we went on 37. As a blazing fire turns firewood to ashes, O Arjuna, so does the fire of knowledge burn to ashes all reactions to material activities. So then we dive deep in this particular verse, that how exactly that happens. Right? I will try to do the same thing again. Can you give me that board? Yes, thank you. Few devotees were there, so for them it will be repeat. But I thought this is important, so let's try to cover this. So let's read again this verse, right? Please repeat after me. As a blazing fire turns firewood to ashes.
As a blazing fire turns firewood to ashes.
O Arjuna.
O Arjuna.
So does the fire of knowledge.
So does the fire of knowledge
burn to ashes.
Burn to ashes.
All reactions to material activities.
All reactions to material activities.
So here specifically you are talking. See, material activities. What is material activities? Anybody? Yeah, so correct. So what we do for our own sense gratification. Right? From karma perspective, there could be good or there could be bad karma. So let's talk about specific, right? So we will talk about, say, sins which are bad karmas, right? For devotees, both are same, exactly. So we will say sin. This is very important, especially who wants to have a repeat of last week's session, because we went in detail. So sin, right? We are talking about sin. So what is the reason of sin? How, sinful desire. Sense gratification is actual what you are doing, right? So desires, right? So let's do sinful desires. What is the reason of sinful desires? Ignorance, right? Okay, we are okay? So now if you see why we are discussing, I just wanted to again emphasize why we are discussing. We wanted to understand how the knowledge or devotional service is going to get rid of material reactions. Right? So I think these arrows are other way around. Yeah. So sin. So what will happen once you have sin? What will happen? There are two things happen when you are sin. Yes. So one is manifested, right? So what you mean by manifested? Unmanifested.
Manifest means the current going on.
Correct. Manifest means it already manifested. So it is called prarabdha. Of prarabdha. Right? Just take an example. Now, if somebody did some wrong thing, right? So you will get a reaction. There will be some portion of that, depending on what type of action is there. Portion of that will be immediately that person will be suffering immediately, physical, mental, whatever suffering will be there. But there will be some suffering which will not come now, but in future it will come. Everybody is okay with this? So this is already a reaction, and this is in future it will come. So what happens this in future one? What will happen in the future? What is coming in future? So this will become prarabdha. That means it will manifest apart, right? And it will create what? Yeah. So it will. Yeah. It will. It will create the proclivity. Yes. Unhealthy, desired, proclivity, propensity. What we see, right? So propensity. So what with that propensity? What is it? What will happen?
More sinful desires.
So desires will be there, right? This is very important. Why it is important? That we have many time questions, right? Why somebody is doing in that particular way, right? So if you see, even if you see animals, right? Two animals coming from the same mother, they are small only. If you see cat or dog, but their reactions will be different for a particular thing. Even if you talk about human beings, right? Twins, but their reactions will be totally different. So that depends on the propensity what they have. Depends on their past karmas. How you can easily think about it. Right? Everybody is okay with this? Now, if you want to take rid of this, right? Essentially, we want to take. We are saying this verse is saying that it will take rid of, or it will burn this like a ashes. How fire burns the ashes. So if you think logically, right, what will happen? To get rid of this, you have to get rid of this. What is the input for this? If the input for this is ignorance, right? Avidya. How the ignorance will go? With transcendental knowledge. What is avidya? Avidya is? Yeah.
Forgetfulness.
Yeah, actually we are forgetting. So our true identity, we are forgetting. If we get the transcendental knowledge, that means if we understand our true sense, our true identity, our relation, we are part and parcel of Krishna, we are servant of Krishna. So this will be gone. If this is gone, this will also get impacted. Right? Everybody okay? Now there is another input for this, because if this gone, this is not taken care completely. Right? This is taken. This is the input. So propensity. So propensity, how you will take care of propensity? Devotional service will help. We are seeing, right, day to day, our life. Our habits before and our habits now. Big difference, right? So devotional service, is devotional service powerful? Is it burning these things? Right? Yes. We are repeating this for Ram Prabhu because few devotees were not there. They requested to repeat last time. So we are repeating this.
Right? The sin is coming from sinful desires, and they are coming from ignorance. Right? Even after ignorance is like we don't know what if we do keep such desires, what is going to happen next.
No, ignorance is not that. Ignorance is not knowing ourselves, not having our true identity. What is our true identity? We are part and parcel of Krishna and serving Krishna is our main identity. How we are serving Him? How should we serve? How should we serve? Yeah. How we should serve in Kali Yuga? Chanting. So that is what is given because Mahaprabhu is so merciful that he has said that you chant, your all avidya will be gone. Right? That is a devotional service. So we have taken care of this. But what about this prarabdha and prarabdha is same. So what about this? Should we take care of this?
No, it's already manifested.
It already manifested. But can devotional service burn this as well? How? How means? Give me example.
But how can something that is already manifested be changed?
Right. It cannot. That is true. It is. I wouldn't say it cannot. It's difficult to do.
Consider it as Krishna's mercy and transform it from being an obstacle to an opportunity.
Correct. So who tells that to do? Which knowledge tells you?
Transcendental.
Transcendental knowledge tells that. So transcendental knowledge is burning everything, even the prarabdha karma. Prarabdha also it can burn. So what is prarabdha? I'll give you example. Right?
Exactly.
What is prarabdha? Prarabdha is now what body we have is our prarabdha. Right? But if you see with mercy of Acharyas, with mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we are able to do some service, some devotional service. So that means our prarabdha is getting transformed. Right? The things what we are going to suffer are getting transferred, as Prabhuji rightly mentioned, to take that as an opportunity and serve Krishna. This is Krishna's, desire. We are serving Krishna.
So the other side, that is our prarabdha.
This is
that's manifested prarabdha.
Prarabdha.
What's the other?
unmanifested aprarabdha. Right? So this can burn. Right? I think there were some doubts last week, but if we still have doubt about how prarabdha will burn, how devotional service will burn the prarabdha, please raise it now. Important point.
So is it that are we saying that devotional service is going to burn the negative effects of the karma that we have done in the past? In other
Both
words?
actually, negative and positive. Both. Because positive will give what? Still it is a bonding, right? So it will basically the karma, it will negate it.
But is it desirable to burn positive karma?
Why?
For example, like getting higher planet, if that is the result of the karma, instead of higher planet, I would like to serve.
Now I'll ask Prabhuji only. See, positive karma, right? What will happen with positive karma?
Good things, happiness,
Correct?
you know.
Then what will happen?
Chances of
Is-
entanglement will.
Yeah. So what will happen? Say for example, I don't know whether it's now real or not. Say Bill Gates, right? Do you think he is most happiest person? His karma is better than ours. We can see that for sure.
You got rid of polio in India.
He's attached, more attached. Yes. Even higher planets, as Prabhuji mentioned, right? So we have a lot of punya. We'll go to higher planets, but higher planets it is more difficult to do devotional service because we have great body, great intelligence, great beauty, great facilities to do all the things, then what we will think? Oh, where is Krishna? Krishna will go on one side.
Like for billiards.
Yeah, it could be.
Like for example, the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to play with this vendor. So eventually he asked, okay, what do you want? I can give you anything. He said, I don't want anything. So whatever I get, so that I will forget it. Even if it's a
Yeah,
worm,
Sridhar, Kola Cheva Sridhar.
as long as I can think of you, anything is okay. If it's a worm or it's a riches, I doesn't matter. But the main thing is I should always think like,
I should serve you.
Service.
Okay. So this is what we covered last week. Any questions?
Why is it that devotee life is frustrating sometimes?
Yeah, we need to first understand the definition of devotee.
I got in a lecture.
Right, but there may be a point what they might be telling, right? It will be frustrated. Devotee's life will be frustrated if we are thinking this as just a vidhi. You know what is vidhi? Vidhi is just a following something without understanding. You can do, but then you will get more and more frustrated.
sure.
Krishna is actually looking for a relation, right? A love. If we build that love, then it will not happen that way. It's
I don't think so, but I
that's
was
good
heard
actually.
and
That's good. It's like our relation with kids, right? Our kids. If you see, or anybody, any relation, but I'm giving example because you are daughter. Yeah, I'll tell you, but I'll tell you. I have not completed that now your daughter is on your lap. Yes, we get frustrated, but still we do. Why? Because we have love, right? If it is not a love, then you see there are so many cases happening outside. So that will not be love. So it's like
then
that.
there is no relation between two.
Yeah, there is no relation actually. Or we should try to build a relation. Yes.
I'm sorry, Prabhu, here. Why is frustration that I didn't get to the...
Yeah, I didn't go in detail actually, and because there are many reasons.
Yeah.
Could be for frustration. One thing I mentioned that we need to know the
Maybe we
definition.
don't, sometimes maybe we don't see the results immediately. We are
No, there are many reasons.
The
yes.
reason my question is more, what reason could be accepted in this Shastra, which will say it's okay to frustrate so based on this point? Is there anything like that for a devotee?
Yeah, there is actually. Devotee will get frustrated. No, what is the valid reason
So,
of getting?
according to Shastra, is it acceptable for any reason for a devotee to get frustrated? If so, what is it? What could be?
So there is actually. Devotees get.
But that's not acceptable. I mean, that's Shastra doesn't say that it's okay to be frustrated.
No, there is. You can be frustrated, very frustrated, if you are not getting
But that's a
moving
non-devotee.
forward.
That's a non-devotee to move. But
No, I'm saying even devotees, you can get very frustrated, but not in that sense. I said that you are not moving, you are not getting Krishna prema. In that way, you can have a strong
But
desire.
you're not frustrated with Krishna though.
You are not frustrated with your own.
You can
You
never
are
be
not.
frustrated with Krishna. That's my point.
Correct.
Unless Shastra,
No, that's no.
yeah, you're frustrated with yourself, but
Yes,
not with
that's correct. That I'm not doing enough to do,
That's
go near Krishna, to serve Krishna's devotee. I'm not going. Right? Okay, so we'll go. Maybe we'll quickly try to do the next verses. Okay? Or any questions?
Hasti Islam, there is one topic, Hasti Islam, Prabhupada says something.
Yeah.
Is it relation to this cycle, somebody try to break it and then again getting into that again and again? Is it possible in this cycle? Is it possible to break it and then again get into it because
It is possible anytime, right? If you see something is burning it, if that fuel you stop, then there is a possibility of this growing again, right? What is burning it? What is burning it? Yeah, devotional service, which is chanting of holy name for this yuga, right? If that is stopped,
Yeah,
then you will come on. Right? So Prabhuji's question was, Prabhupada is mentioned, right? The Hasti Snan, like elephant cleaning himself nicely in water, come out again, put dirt on himself. So is it possible here? Yeah, it is possible if we don't continue, because we have to, as couple of weeks back I mentioned, right? We have to act. There is no way we can just become idle. Right? So every action having some reaction. So if we don't do in proper knowledge, then definitely it will have karma. Right? Okay.
Prabhu, in the context of this knowledge, right? Sometimes you know that with whatever devotional knowledge that this is a thing to do, but you have your own limitations, be it your body or something. You want to do, you have a desire to do, there are some limitations.
Yeah.
So my question is, knowledge when practiced is complete knowledge.
Here the definition of knowledge is that understand and act.
With practice.
No
matter with the limitations.
Understand and act. Yeah. But here, if you see, there is a difference, right? Difference is what? This knowledge, even if it looks like for everybody it is same, but that is what we don't have to understand, right? We have to understand our real identity. So what will happen? Not everybody will have same relation and same set of actions. Everybody will have different actions. It will be very personal, because each relation is very personal with Krishna. So sometimes what happens that we feel, oh, it is so much trouble to do all this. But that is not a trouble. Actually, that is to move forward. Those things are important. That hurdle is important in our life. Right? It's like they say, right? If you have a gold, when is the real gold or gold's real value is known? Burn in fire. Then gold comes very bright in that. Okay. So we'll go to 38. Okay, please repeat after me. Nahi jnanena sadrusham pavitramiha vidyate tatsvayam yoga samsiddham kalenatmani vidanti. In this world there is nothing so sublime and pure as transcendental knowledge. Such knowledge is the mature fruit of all mysticism, and one who has become accomplished in the practice of devotional service enjoys this knowledge within himself in due course of time. I'll read the purport. You also should read. When we speak of transcendental knowledge, we'll do it together. Okay. We do so in terms of spiritual understanding. As such, there is nothing so sublime and pure as transcendental knowledge. Ignorance is the cause of our bondage, and knowledge is the cause of our liberation. This knowledge is the mature fruit of devotional service. And when one is situated in transcendental knowledge, he need not search for peace elsewhere. For he enjoys peace within himself. In other words, this knowledge and peace culminate in Krishna consciousness. That is the last word in the Bhagavad Gita. So if you see here, importance of or glories of transcendental knowledge is given in this next few verses. Right? We are doing 38. So there is nothing so sublime and pure as transcendental knowledge. So we are clear, right? This is straightforward. Right? And such knowledge is the mature fruit of all mysticism. Very strong word here, but I think we are okay with that word, right? That particular sentence and word. So who are giving more inclination or more importance to siddhi, they may not like it or understand it, but if you see, devotional service is surpassing everything, even all the mysticisms, right? Everybody knows mysticism, what is it, right? All siddhis, different types of, right? So I don't think we have to spend time to explain this. Yeah.
Does it mean that it's this mature truth is a transcendental knowledge, like 55, is the essence, no matter which practice you create, that's the highest form. It's the essence of.
Yeah, I think the way we should understand is why this mysticism is there. In reality, why mysticism
That could
is
be
there.
just in the path, but the essence of it again is not.
No, that is what I'm asking. Why it is there, mysticism? Why these siddhis are given? Because that person actually needs to understand that Krishna is the Lord. He is the master. But what is happening is that somebody can go different path. Getting that is mysticism or that power, that person may think, no, I am Krishna.
Can I not put it this way, Prabhu? As they are advancing, no matter which path, they're from Maya, they're getting a little bit like.
No, it may be other way around, because what happens if you get power, right? That person may go more and more entangled.
I agree. I'm saying like as they're advancing, that's what I said, in transcendental knowledge, no matter which path they're taking.
There is a possibility, yes.
Then
There is a possibility.
it's like the cow tied, the rope gets, whatever the rope, right? That's a free, that gets increased. So they might, but if they budge into it, yeah, they'll come down.
Correct. Yeah. But there are chances more.
I'm sure, but the
Yeah.
essence of it is, I think, mature food is like the
Correct.
essence of it is again the
The
same.
final goal
is the same.
only thing is devotional service, the way we are doing,
Right.
and Prabhupada and Mahaprabhu mentioned, that is straightforward.
Yes,
In this, yes. Correct. That what you said. Final target.
the
would be
mature
achieved.
food is the essence.
And one who has become accomplished in the practice of devotional service enjoys this knowledge within himself in due course of time. So in due course of time, it's kalena. Right? Everybody knows kalena. This is a very important point. So in due course of time, why it is mentioned here and why it is important. If you see how we will go from one step to other step to other step, how we will go. It will take time. So kalena. Why it takes time? Because there is a process, right? That we have to purify ourselves. How we purify ourselves? Yes. And devotional service. It is not indicating, Krishna is not indicating here, you leave everything and start. Because then he will not mention that kalena, right? In due course. He will say immediately you will get. But how? You will not get immediately. Right? So this is related to what we have covered first part of the chapter, which is, if you remember, karma, akarma, vikarma, right? You remember? So how it is related here is, if you act in that way, it will purify you more and more. So there will not be a direct karma attached to you. It will purify you more and more, and then you will, due course of time, you will enjoy the knowledge within yourself. So what Mayavadis do, that immediately leave everything and accept this path, is condemned here. We'll go to the next question. Yes.
You were telling that why mysticism is there.
Why mysticism is there? Actually, the siddhis are given to, see, there are some souls who are more attracted to do that kind of service. Right? So those siddhis are given them to get those siddhis and know more, go to the next level. Right? If somebody is very much attached to manipulate the matter, what the manipulate means, moving things here and there, right? But he has to understand, after getting that knowledge, if that person, as you mentioned, right, that person, if it progresses, right, understanding that how it is happening, how this power is coming, who is giving that power.
But these days we are seeing this problem.
Yeah, that is what I'm saying. It is difficult. If you have the power, it is difficult.
But Prabhu, a pure devotee as well has this, but he doesn't show it. Like Bhaktivinoda Thakur,
You don't want to show it.
he doesn't want. When there was a mysticist person, he actually challenged him because for the welfare of the people,
Right.
and he couldn't do anything with. He lost. And that means that Bhaktivinoda Thakur had this, but he doesn't want to show.
No, he has.
But he wants to show it only for the service of Krishna.
Right. I wouldn't put
Like
in this.
Lord
way.
Hanuman. I mean, like Hanuman.
Right.
He has this
Yeah,
mysticism.
that is a good example.
But he shows it only for the service of Lord Rama.
He uses only for the service.
of Lord Rama.
He uses only for the service.
I mean, advanced devotees might have it, but they might not use it. Prabhupada might have it, but he never wanted. I mean, he doesn't. That never came in because he wanted to serve Krishna, and that's
Right. But that
he
is.
might have had it. I mean, my
Yeah,
point is he
that
might
is-
have had it, but he doesn't want to even take it because his focus was.
Yeah, he was Shaktavesha avatar, so definitely he has much more potency than that. But these siddhis are just a
Yeah,
manipulation.
that's what I'm saying. I mean,
Yeah.
if for a devotee, if it's not used for service of the Lord, they wouldn't even like. It is insignificant for them.
But yeah,
But Hanuman's activities we cannot tell that it's a mysticism.
yes, siddhi. This siddhis. We are using mysticism word usually in our our view. Mysticism means some black magic. It's not actually. Mysticism is some mystic powers.
There are 8 siddhis, right? Like he can actually become small. He can become like he can manipulate matter in different forms.
Okay. So important point was that yes, even if somebody has, it's difficult them to pass over that. But there are great souls. If you read Radhanath Maharaj book, he has mentioned a lot of such siddhis. He mentioned a specific person that who was using and showing everything. That just from the air he is creating all, giving any big hall, and people are there, and at the end he says this is nothing. This is Lord is greater than this. He says that. Yeah, he says that. Universe says. Okay, so we will go to 39. Shraddhavala labhate jnanam. Tatparaha sanyate indriha. Jnanam labdva param shantim. Achirena digacchati. A faithful man who is dedicated to transcendental knowledge and who subdues his senses is eligible to achieve such knowledge, and having achieved it, he quickly attains the supreme spiritual peace. So this is actually what I was mentioning, Mataji, that what actually qualities, how we will understand this. These are the qualities of the person who can understand transcendental knowledge. So what are the qualities required to understand? One is faithful. So faith, right? Second is what? Dedication. Dedicated to transcendental knowledge. And what is the third? Yeah, so controlling the senses. So these 3 things, if it is there, then you can get knowledge. So what is faith? Shraddha. But why faith is important here?
Because you don't have the realization experience.
No, we will not learn anything if we don't have faith. Right? Even in our material world we see, right? Unless you have faith, you cannot take any action, not only learning, any action. Right? Everybody, most of us came from, out of the country. We use the plane, right? They give example. You boarded the plane. You had some faith that this plane will come here, right? Otherwise, you wouldn't have boarded the plane. You didn't go and check whether all machineries are okay, whether the pilot has enough experience to start the plane or fly the plane. Had the faith. So same thing. Without a faith, we will not go to the next step. So the faith, the first important thing is faith in Krishna's words, faith in these verses. So that verse which is telling that it will do if we have the faith. Transcendental knowledge works a little differently. It is very personal, right? So if we have faith, then it will act much more actively. Yeah. So I just wanted to read one nice paragraph, if you can give me through. It's okay. Related to faith, because this actually many times attracted me in the past, and I was fortunate today to find this also. I will mention. I'll just go first. You open another window or same window?
Oh, I think I might have closed it for you. I didn't know you were.
Yeah, no problem. No, it's there. Okay. So this is actually Prabhupada's poem. We'll end with that. Prabhupada's poem. Everybody knows how Prabhupada came here? Yeah. Yeah, Prabhupada actually, at very old age, he boarded a ship from India to come here only on faith on his spiritual master and Krishna. Okay. That time he had like 23 rupees or something in his pocket. Yeah, around that. I think it's yeah. Yeah, the book, actually I read the diary, Prabhupada's diary. So he didn't, so limited. So if everybody came first time, we were so much, well prepared. Okay? But if you see in Prabhupada's, his age, he didn't knew here anybody. He came, that also in a ship, he had heart attacks, right? How he came, right? Just on faith he came. Otherwise in that age, from Vrindavan, coming to New York, right, where we all wants to go to Vrindavan, right, we want to spend time there. That time, the Vaishnava, best Vaishnava, he came here just with minimal things and without knowing anything, just on faith on Krishna and his Guru Maharaj. Right? When he is in the ship, he has wrote this poem, very nice poem. I'm not going to read the Bengali poem, right? We'll read the translation, right? My dear Lord Krishna, you are so kind upon this useless soul, but I do not know why you have brought me here. Now you can do whatever you like with me, but I guess you have some business here. Otherwise, why would you bring me to this terrible place? Further, how will I make them understand this message of Krishna consciousness? I am very unfortunate, unqualified, and the most fallen. Therefore, I am seeking your benediction so that I can convince them, for I am powerless to do so on my own. O spiritual master of all the worlds, I can simply repeat your message. So if you like, you can make my power of speaking suitable for their understanding. O Lord, I am just like a puppet in your hands. So if you have brought me here to dance, then make me dance, O Lord, make me dance as you like. Next paragraph is very important. I have no devotion, nor do I have any knowledge, but I have strong faith in the holy name of Krishna. So Prabhupada is saying the reason I am coming is I have very strong faith in the holy name of Krishna. And it is told, Prabhupada's God brothers also told about this, that one of the God brother, when the devotees were asking about Prabhupada and his old age, they saw that particular God brother mentioned that he has never seen, he was very confident when he saw that somebody Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati's disciple has spread this movement. So he thought about Prabhupada because he thought that this person had so much faith in holy name, nobody else had it. So he wasn't surprised, he mentioned. I wasn't surprised that Prabhupada had spread the name of Lord all over the world. Yeah, I'll repeat again. I have no devotion, nor do I have any knowledge, but I have strong faith in the holy name of Krishna. I have been designated as Bhakti Vedanta, and now, if you like, you can fulfill the real purport of Bhakti Vedanta. Signed, the most unfortunate, insignificant beggar, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami, on board the ship Jaladuta, Commonwealth Pier, Boston, Massachusetts, USA. Okay, so faith is very important for us to go to the next level. Yeah. So how we can increase our faith? We can increase our faith with having Sangha with devotees who have faith. Yeah? Yes.
Wouldn't faith go down as you're having religion? Because it's not faith, but it's you.
The faith will convert.
In faith, there is an unknown factor, but as you are having realization, there is no unknown. You know it.
Yeah, but realization will not come that way.
Prabhupada, is it still faith or is it?
No, that is their position. They are talking like that, right? Yeah. Why about this, right? Prabhupada has written the first paragraph is saying that this useless soul is saying to himself, right? Then he said, I don't have any devotion, any knowledge. I am most fallen. Yeah? So that is their greatness. Humility. Okay, so I think that's it for this week. Any questions?
I read an email about Prabhupada. One devotee
If they want to ask.
Who was serving as a pujari of Samadhi for so many years. He wrote an article about
It is I think Shantipur, Advaita Acharya's place. Not Bhakti, but that's okay. I understood. Yeah, I understood. Yeah, I understood.
that one sannyasi.
Yeah, you can tell it. It is very interesting. Yes, please tell everybody.
One sannyasi used to come at the Advaita Acharya Samadhi. Like, and he will come in the morning and he sit till evening on Advaita Acharya Samadhi. And he chant, and all he will sit at the back of the Samadhi and he try and chant whole day. And that pujari was very much surprised to see him, and he will not come very often, but still once a month he will come to that Samadhi for 20 years he was coming. So the pujari was very, very curious to know about that man. And once he didn't came for a long time, and he came after many months, and again he sat there, and the whole day he was crying and chanting. And then curiously that pujari asked him, who are you? Why are you so much? So you seem to be very devoted and dedicated. And I don't remember exactly.
Yeah, actually, yeah, I can add there. So actually, if you see Shantipur, like it is near to Calcutta. So when Prabhupada was Grihastha, he used to go there more often, as you mentioned. He was in Grihastha clothes, so white. Then for years he didn't go, and then again he came in sannyasa clothes.
Yeah, he came.
Sannyasi clothes, and then whole day he was crying. Then that Prabhuji asked, if I remember correctly, that why you are crying so long. He's saying that my Guru Maharaj wants me to go, but I don't. When tomorrow I am going, I think just going before boarding the Jalduta, he went there to seek the blessings. I don't know what I can do, and he didn't give much information, and he just went for that. And after few years, then Westerner devotees started coming Mayapur. The Western devotees, you're going to all places, go to this place also. And one of the devotee, when talking, they gave the magazine and they told about Prabhupada. He didn't saw that magazine that clearly, but he told about Prabhupada and he gave, this is Prabhupada's magazine. Then he sees that magazine and he recognizes Prabhupada. Oh, this is that same person who used to come here. Then he goes to Mayapur Chandrodaya Mandir, that is the ISKCON temple in Mayapur, and he tells this story to pujaris there. Very touching story. Okay. So hopefully next week we will try to complete this chapter, Transcendental Knowledge. Okay, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.